William McKinley was the 25th leader of the U.S., serving from War 1897, until his death on September 14, 1901. Subsequent to driving the country to triumph in the Spanish-American conflict and raising defensive taxes to advance American industry. At the 1896 Conservative Show, in Season of Sorrow, the affluent Cleveland money manager Marcus Alonzo Hanna guaranteed the designation of his companion William McKinley as the development specialist of flourishing. The liberals, supporting the free and limitless money of both silver and gold, minus which would have somewhat swelled the cash, named William Jennings Bryan. While Hanna utilized huge commitments from Eastern conservatives terrified by Bryan's perspectives on silver, McKinley met assignments on his entryway patio in Canton, Ohio. He won by the biggest larger part of well-known votes starting around 1872. Brought into the world in Niles, Ohio, in 1843, McKinley momentarily went to Allegheny School, and was showing in a nation school when the nationwide conflict broke out. Enrolling as a confidential in the Association Armed Force, he was marshaled out toward the finish of the conflict as a brevet major of workers. He concentrated on regulation, opened an office in Canton, Ohio, and wedded Ida Saxton, girl of a neighborhood financier. At 34, McKinley won a seat in Congress. His alluring character, model person, and speedy knowledge empowered him to quickly rise. He was delegated to the Strong Available Resources Board. Robert M. La Follette, who presented with him, reviewed that he for the most part addressed the more up-to-date view, and on the incredible new inquiries, was for the most part on general society and against private interests. During his 14 years in the House, he turned into the main conservative tax master, giving his name to the action authorized in 1890. The following year he was chosen legislative leader of Ohio, serving 2 terms. At the point when McKinley became president, the downturn of 1893 had nearly run its course, and with it the outrageous fomentation over silver. Conceding activity on the cash question, he called Congress into exceptional meeting to establish the most noteworthy tax ever. In the amicable air of the McKinley Organization, modern mixes created at an extraordinary speed. Papers exaggerated McKinley as a young man drove around by Nursey Hanna, the delegate of the trusts. Nonetheless, McKinley was not overwhelmed by Hanna. He censured the trusts as hazardous schemes against the public great. Not success, but rather international strategy, ruled McKinley's organization. Revealing the impasse between Spanish powers and progressives in Cuba, papers shouted that a fourth of the populace was dead and the rest enduring intensely. Public resentment brought strain upon the president for war. Unfit to limit Congress or the American public, McKinley conveyed his message of nonpartisan mediation in April 1898. Congress immediately casted a ballot 3 goals commensurate to a formal statement of war for the freedom of Cuba. In the 100-day war, the U.S. obliterated the Spanish Armada outside Santiago Harbor in Cuba, held onto Manila in the Philippines, and involved Puerto Rico. Uncle Joe Gunn, later Speaker of the House, when said that McKinley kept his ear so near the ground that it was brimming with grasshoppers. At the point when McKinley was uncertain what to do about Spanish belongings other than Cuba, he visited the nation and recognized a colonialist opinion. Consequently, the U.S. attached the Philippines, Guam, and Puerto Rico. In 1900, McKinley again crusaded against Bryan. While Bryan denounced against colonialism, McKinley discreetly meant the full supper bucket. His subsequent term, which had started favorably, reached a lamentable conclusion in September 1901. He was remaining in a getting line at the Bison Dish American composition when a disturbed rebel shot him 2 times. He kicked the bucket 8 days after the fact.